So in Meowth or Galarian Perrserker, at this point I'm going to attack Rusted Sword there for the knockouts. Prize card Pokemon.
You are now watching Zacian PTCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to Zacian PTCG. I'm Zacian, and today we're going to be covering the Turbo Zacian deck. So I haven't covered this deck on the channel before. I have covered ADP a few times, but this deck is absolutely bonkers using the new Rusted Sword that was released in Shining Fates to kind of pop the deck's damage off a little bit more. So basically the theory of this deck is, if ADP did extra damage and Rusted Sword comes out, is there a way to get to that extra threshold? We're going to find out in this video. This video is going to consist of the deck list overview, handful of games, and a little bit more, so stay tuned for all that. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. The list is in the description below, and you can go to PTCGO plug in code Aegislash to save 5% on your next order of codes, maybe for this deck or anything else that you're looking for. Alright, let's jump into this deck. So here we have the deck list, and I mean, I think this deck list is actually a very good first build of Turbo Zacian. We've seen this deck kind of pop up at the POG Championships back in August, kind of got rotated out a little bit, and here we have it again. So what makes it good again? Well, Rusted Sword really adds the extra damage element, so that's going to allow us to hit for some bigger numbers. So you can see Zacian V doing Brave Blade, it's going to be doing 260 damage. Where do you come up with the extra damage, you might ask? Well, you have extra damage that you could do with Galarian Perrserker being in play. We have 2 copies of Galarian Perrserker, and we have a copy of Leon. So we could actually get some knockouts on some Pokemon like Centiskorch VMAX, a lot of the tag team Pokemon, etc. We also added in a new copy of the Ditto V here. The Ditto V is going to work really well because if you have a Pokemon in your discard pile, such as the Aegislash, or if you have a Zamazenta, you can use Ditto V to transform into that. So I mean, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Be sure to check that out when we do some gameplay. I mean, hopefully we find some opportunities to make it work. So let's go by these cards one by one to make sure that we are able to go through it. So Ditto V is able to transform into Pokemon. The only Pokemon you could transform into are Aegislash V, Zacian V, and Zamazenta V. You could also turn, I guess, into an Eldegoss or a Crobat, but I mean, I don't necessarily think the Crobat's going to be an option. The Eldegoss V you could use float up potentially. Oranguru is for you to stack the top of your deck to put a metal energy on top when you're using Intrepid Sword, or you could save cards that you don't want to particularly discard with like a research or something like that. That can be huge. Got a Crobat V and a Dedenne-GX for setup potential. You have Eldegoss V to get your extra supporters. There's only like 2 copies of Marnie, few copies of Bosss Orders, etc, etc. So that's pretty cool. Aegislash V is because there's a lot of Altaria and Desi goons going around. Galarian Meowth you could use to discard cards such as Metal Energies for both Turbo Patch and for Metal Saucer. That could be very cool. You could also use to clear your hand for cards like Crobat V. You got the Galarian Perrserker to do extra damage. This is also a Pokemon that can attack against things like Altaria and Desi goons if you're in a pinch. Zacian V is our best attacker. Zamazenta is able to kind of block VMAX Pokemon like Eternatus VMAX. Great Catcher works with Bosss Orders to bring up whatever we want. Metal Saucer and Turbo Patch are really to power up our Pokemon. Quick Ball is going to allow this deck to get set up. Switch is just because this Pokemon has Brave Blade, you can't attack during your next turn. And I mean, Switch is kind of like a staple card at this point. Got Leon. Leon doing an additional 30 damage. Kind of the Pokemon supporters that we play in every single deck. Air Balloon. Be careful when you're playing Air Balloon down. You can't put Air Balloon and a Rusted Sword on this Pokemon. So you got to be careful. Air Balloon might fare a little bit better on Oranguru, but do keep in mind you might be put in a situation 3 copies of Rusted Sword to do more damage, and there's no copies of Coding Metal Energy, and I'll tell you why. I just don't think you're going to beat Centiskorch reliably anyways with the Coding Metal Energies. For me, I'm just viewing it as a wasted spot. I'd love to hear your comments about it below. So a little bit of a short deck profile, but I mean, we've covered enough Zacian decks on this channel where you're basically using Intrepid Sword, powering up energies with Intrepid Sword, Turbo Patch, Metal Saucer, and you're going to be attacking with Zacian V to do as much damage. You got the damage modifiers of Rusted Sword, Galarian Perrserker, and Leon. If you fall against something that's a Desigoons or Altaria deck, you're going to switch to an Aegislash V deck. Then you can use another copy of Aegislash V with Ditto V's V transformation ability. Same thing if you hit into a VMAX deck that you could block successfully. Try to isolate the things that can attack through you, get through Dauntless Shield, and turn your deck into a Zamazenta deck. Beyond that, everything else is kind of filler to make sure that this deck works. So, pretty solid deck overall, one of the best decks that we have in our Shining Fates format. So let's see exactly how this gameplay turns.
Okay, so we were able to win the coin flip, but we'd like to go first. I think it's a lot better to go first with a deck like this because you can attach an energy and use Intrepid Sword on your first turn. So here you can see it, we are going to be able to Intrepid Sword on our first turn with an energy. So I'm just going to shove this Pokemon up in the active spot, see exactly what's going on. It's not necessarily what we hit in this video, but it's more or less how does the deck set up. I'm not going to bench the Meowths yet, we'll see exactly how that goes. And it looks like I'm probably playing against an Eternatus deck. We'll have to see. This might be a good start. So I'm going to go one Zacian down. Might as well go... I'm just going to go both copies of these down. And then I'm going to go Intrepid Sword. There's no point in me trying to use Evolution Roar to search through my deck yet. So, I mean, interesting start here for sure. Maybe I could have put down the Rusted Sword. That might have been cute. I'm not entirely sure. Well, that makes me feel better that I got a Metal Saucer in my hand. There's Eternatus, there's Absol, Dark City. See exactly how our opponent's able to handle this. So, I mean, not bad. We'll see if the Eternatus matchup is winnable. I'd say that it's unfavorable for us, especially with all my experience as an Eternatus player. So, it's kind of... where I'm at. There's the Galarian Zigzagoon. Cool. They're just gonna do some 10 damage so they do indivisibles of 3. They only need 7 Pokemon in play now. I mean, it's not bad. The metal energy there is actually kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie, because I can go for the Metal Saucer if I really wanted to. So, how I'm going to deal with this, I think I am going to go ahead with the Metal Saucer play. So I'm going to go Quick Ball. Actually, yeah, Quick Ball discarding a Metal Energy. I mean, I think that seems fair, because I can usually just attach another one. I'm going to go for, so really bad matchup to prize the Zamazenta in, by the way. So I recommend don't prize it like I did. So just so we know here, we do have the other Galarian Perrserker. We do have the Ditto V. We have too many Pokemon out in play to make it remotely worth our opportunity. Okay, so there's the Zacian V. I really would have loved to go for a Zamazenta V. I'm going to go Metal Saucer. I'm going to go Metal Saucer. In this matchup, the Rusted Sword isn't going to equal out to a knockout, because 230 plus 60 plus, I can do a max of 330 damage. That being said, I am going to search out my other Galarian Perrserker by discarding 2 cards from my hands. So I'm just going to thin my deck out a little bit more to make the Marnie hit a little bit different. And I really like the new shinies that came out in Shining Fates. I think it looks super cool. So there's that. There's that. I mean, overall, things are looking okay. There's that Marnie. And I mean, I don't necessarily know how I want to like tackle this type of situation. I don't feel like I'm in a good spot by any means. I might as well just like build up an energy. I don't know. I think I'm going to build up an energy. I can't think about this. I'm going to put Rusted Sword there first. I might as well build up an energy on the active in case anything happens. I have Turbo Patch for next turn. So I'm just going to diversify my energy split. Took me a second to get there. I'm going to keep the Turbo Patch, the Dedenne-GX, all that good stuff in hand. Then I'm going to Intrepid Sword on the active. I keep on drawing into my Metal Saucers. So it makes it incredibly awkward for me to be able to build anything up. One thing to note about Turbo Patch 2 is that you can attach from anywhere. You don't have to be on the bench like Metal Saucer. So don't trap yourself in a box if you don't have to. So there's the other energy. So as long as they have the Eternatus VMAX, we're probably in a bit of a rough spot. Otherwise, I think we could actually put ourselves in a game-winning position to knock out the Eternatus V with energies. So that's my current game plan, is isolating energies on Eternatus VMAX or on Eternatus V before it turns into a VMAX. I don't know why they fail to capture energy. I don't know if they have a Crobat in their hands. Okay, they're going all in there. This is why Yveltal is so good. I would have rather switched. I think it would have been better for them to switch into something else, to be honest. just because of Dark City. But they're going to get the Marnie on us. If they get the Eternatus V, we'll have to VMAX. We'll have to see exactly how that goes. We do have the knockout if they do not get it. So that might have been a risky play on their behalf if they're not able to get it. Again, just I guess they could always retreat, but not, I don't know. I feel like there's some missequencing there. I'll probably have to review this VOD later. Yeah, this is probably going to be a concession here. So I'm going to go switch here, attach, eat this up, and then their first 2 turns are gone. I'm up 2 prize cards, and I have 4 energies in play. They have 0. If I pull the Zamazenta V, I'm also probably in a good spot. There's Aegislash, Zacian. I mean, a lot of Pokemon prize here this game, peeps. That's okay. I'm in an awkward position where I might not be able to attack here and there because of the Absol giving me a 3rd retreat cost. But reasonably, I'm just going to try to go Bosss Orders on the Crobats to win the game. And the fact that they played Marnie on our dead hand is huge here. Yeah, this hand seems a little bit better. I'm actually fine if they were to go Crushing Hammer too. I need some energy in the discard pile apparently, right? So they attach for turn. I can actually, if I can get a heads, I know for sure I can get this. I'm going to go Quick Ball before I do anything else. So I'm going to go Quick Ball discarding Leon because I know I don't want to see Leon. I do want to just go for Dedenne-GX, or not Dedenne-GX. I'm going to go for Crobat. I still need a little bit more secure before I figure this out. I'm going to attach here because attaching there seems like the correct choice. And then going Crobat here for 4 sounds very good. So the switch Air Balloon combo sounds good because this only blocks basic Pokemon. So I'm going to go Bosss Orders there, and my opponent's probably just going to scoop the game at this point. I'm going to put the Air Balloon on this Pokemon because I can just go switch. It's not affected. I could have also just gone switch into the Crobats, and then they're going to concede because they just could not get set up as quick as we did. Okay. So I'm going to call tails here. No reason at all. We won the coin flip. Yep, it's probably better to go first with this deck. And no basic Pokemon, that's fine. This deck should have some fairly good starts with everything that's available in the deck. No basic Pokemon again, jeez. Trying to make our opponent draw all those extra cards. I probably should have checked to see what their mulligan was. It's an extra piece of information. Not that I'm going to be put into a situation where I start with the utmost wrong Pokemon, but in some cases where they're just playing Eternatus VMAX or something, I'd rather start Lone Zam if that's an opportunity. But here you can see I have no opportunity to choose the Pokemon I want to start with. That's completely fine. See exactly what they have. I might even go just for a Guru here to attack right into it. I don't think so though. I think I can go for Zacian attached there. I should have looked through my deck first. That would have been a little bit better. And then I'm going to put myself in a position where I can get the turn 2 knockouts. I'm going to go for the Galarian Meowth. So checking through here, do you got Zacians? Do you got Perrserkers? Do you have Rusted Swords? I mean, I like my chances here. And I'm going to go ahead for Intrepid Sword. So getting the energy there would have been absolutely massive, but that's okay. Only so much that I can do in a particular turn. So it looks like they're playing the new version of ADP. Will this version be quicker than Turbo Zacian? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm able to get the knockout without using my ADPs or without using a GX attack. So as long as I get a knockout on this ADP within the next 2 turns, I should be absolutely grinning in this matchup. If they got a turn 1 Altered Creation GX off, I might be crying a little bit. So I gotta be careful of the Pokemon that I bench down. All that good stuff. Geez, my opponent's running quite strong this game. That is looking like a good turn. So Zacian decks in general, and they still haven't used a supporter card. Yeah, Clady P crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared. Energy Switch might be interesting in this deck as a 1 or 2 of I don't hate it. Okay, so we survived the first turn somehow with our opponent going through more than half of their deck. The next card just had to be the energy, right? So let's go for Galarian Meowth, Evolution Roar. Since I'm pitching this hand anyways, I'm going to discard this, and I'm going to discard this. Those cards can both get yeeted for a Galarian Perrserker. Evolve into Galarian Perrserker. At this point, I'm going to attach my energy to the bench one, just to diversify my energies in play. And I'm going to go for Research. Okay. Nothing great going on here, energy-wise. Nothing really going on at all. Since my opponent's probably not playing Marnie, since they're playing Clay, that's just a general observation. I'm going to go Intrepid Sword on the bench. I feel like that's probably the safe play. And next turn, I think I'm ready to get those attacks off. Now, if you ask me with my opponent going Metal Saucer, I'm probably in a rough spot here. I'm going to have to like knock out the Zacian V first, just so that they aren't able to knock out other Pokemon. So how many metal energies do I have in there? I have 2. I'm going to attach one. I'm going to go Metal Saucer here. I'm going to attach another one. I'm going to go right there. Bring that up. Quick Ball. I don't want to have any Pokemon that they could bring up, so I'm just going to discard the Crobat. They could bring that up with Ultimate Ray. But doing 180. There's a Galarian Meowth. I'm going to go Galarian Meowth here. There's an Air Balloon, so I get free retreats. I am going to pitch these other 2 Pokemon as well. Thinning out my deck. Thinning out Pokemon that can get Mawile down. Grab a Galarian Perrserker so I can have more damage for next turn. I mean, I don't need the more damage, but I'll take it. And here's the knockout with Brave Blade. So I'm going to take the first prize card against my opponents. And I should be in a pretty good position. I don't necessarily feel like they're going to be able to take a huge one hit back. And I'm just looking for a Rusted Sword, more or less, to get a knockout on that ADP. So if I can get a Rusted Sword, I'm able to checkmate my opponents. But we'll see exactly what they're able to do here. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just an Ultimate Ray onto a Zacian V. Exactly. Okay. So this is where I can do anything else in the game because I'm kind of put in a 2-turn clock. So there's an energy. There's a Metal Saucer. Is there anything else that I want to grab out of my hand? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I know I want to evolve there. I don't need another Zacian at all, so I'm just going to go Quick Ball, search my deck, make sure there's nothing else that I really want. I'm probably just going to grab a Galarian Meowth here out of my deck, just so I could pitch this hand. Yeah, I'm just going to grab the Galarian Meowth and pitch this hand. If I find a Rusted Sword, I feel like I win the game here. Okay. So here's what we found. If I just go reach, oh, this is more awkward than I thought. I can't, since I have an Air Balloon there, I cannot use Rusted Sword on that Pokemon. So I need to find a way to get out of the active spots. So I need to find a switch. Okay. So I'm actually going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to use Quick Ball away this because I needed a Dedenne-GX. I'm going to go for Dedenne-GX, or Ditto V, transform this into a Zacian V. Since I can bench I can do whatever I want bench-wise. I'm going to go Metal Saucer right there. Nothing else is going to work. I'm going to go Rusted Sword there. And I need to find a switch, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I've only played one switch. Okay, back in the business. Switch. Retreats. Is there anything else that I really care about doing here? Probably not. So I'm going to be able to do 260, 280, 300 damage. No problem. I'm going to hold on to those cards because I don't want to put it on the wrong Pokemon. Brave Blade for the knockouts. So when Brave Blade's starting to knock out these 3 prize card Pokemon, this is really why the metagame has been shifted up. And there's another dub under the belts. Okay, I'm just going to call heads. And wow, I'm able to win the 3rd coin flip in a row. Yes, I would like to go first. I like the kind of aggressive nature of this deck. So starting with the lone Galarian Meowth is slightly sad, I'm not going to lie. Having no quick balls, no nothing else to make this happen. A little bit awkward here, but that's okay. Yep. This is, looks like it's a Cramorant VMAX deck. I don't think I'm going to lose the game next turn, but I'm definitely not putting myself in a great position. I'm going to go Evolution Roar, thin my deck out a little bit. I think I'm just going to pitch this entire hand next turn anyways. So I'm going to do this to be able to search my deck, see what's going on. I prize both of my Galarian Perrserkers, which is going to be absolutely wild. Maybe not the best game to end everything on, but that's okay. Going through, sure. I'm just going to pass here. See what's up. It's a capture energy for the turn. That makes a lot of sense. I really like how this deck can just go beat catch. Maybe I should have not discarded the Marnie there. That could have been, that might have been a little bit of a better play. But that's okay. You want to know what? If the game's going to crumble at some point, I'm fine to let it crumble to the bird deck. Try my best next turn to get some kind of hotness. So they're probably searching for like rare candies, Porygon, stuff like that. The B-Catch works naturally very well with this deck. Another switch, that's going to be quite unfortunate. I'm just going to go research at this point. No point of putting a Rusted Sword onto that Pokemon. And at this point, I'm just going to go Intrepid Sword. At least I got another energy. Still rocking a dead hands. A lot of random resources. And that's what's going to happen with these decks sometimes. As much as the deck looks super consistent in the other 2 games that we played against Eternatus and ADP, sometimes the deck's just going to suck, and you're going to get like a bunch of Bosss Orders, Metal Saucers, just like random jank that you don't want to see in your hand, and that's literally all we've seen this entire game. In the process, also while discarding 2 research and a Marnie. So that's all of our Bosss. That's 3 out of our 4 switch. It's just one of those things where it is what it is. And I don't necessarily think we're going to fare too well against this Cramorant deck. This seems like it's actually probably a difficult matchup. They're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flips. I don't know why they went all in with the triple acceleration energies. I wouldn't even have fully invested into that research. But, what? Excuse me? That's crazy. Okay. Primate Wisdom. I mean, I don't even know what I'd want to put on top of this deck. I'm just going to put on a Metal Saucer, I guess. I'm going to bring up this Cramorant, I guess. Or maybe I'll bring up this. That might actually be better. They might not have the rare candy play. And I will draw 3 cards. Hopefully I can get an energy. They might put down a card. Is there anything that's going to matter numbers-wise? No. So I don't even need to put down the Galarian Meowth. Let's go ahead and go Brave Blade, shutting off their energies. Now, the biggest issue that I see here is that I'm 3 switch down. That's going to be quite difficult to make up for. So I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to kind of make it through here. They could just roll. They could just attach a triple acceleration energy, roll me by getting 3 out of 5 heads, and that would be absolutely game at that point. The power energy is not going to really do the extra damage that I think it needs to do, but we'll see how that goes. The Marnie there is a blessing. When your opponent has nothing in their hand, it's quite often not a good idea to Marnie them. But that's okay, everyone's allowed to have their own play style. Switch there, I don't hate. Let's see if we're able to survive the Glimwood Tangle Max Jet. Oh, they're just going for it. Crazy. Interesting. If I survive next turn somehow, and that's a huge, like, what if? I don't even know if I need the Air Balloon to survive at this point. Yeah, I don't need Air Balloon. I'm just going to turn my deck into a Zam deck. This might be the best take that I've had in a minute. It's much better to go to Dedenne-GX here. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to go Primate Wisdom, putting Eldegoss on top of the deck. And I'm going to go for the Marnie here, actually. This might actually matter now with the Galarian Perrserker. 150. Actually, 150 is not going to matter at all. Yeah, I'm just going to go Marnie. Because I'm going to have the Eldegoss next turn in case I need to boss up anything. I actually don't feel like I'm in the worst spots. And I also just have the boss in hand. The fact that Zamazenta is here, I need to remember that this deck is not Turbo Zacian. It's like Turbo Metal Box. So there's the Brave Blade, swinging into the 230 damage. Doesn't matter as long as it's doing like 200. I'm going to follow up next turn with Assault Tackle. Hopefully I do not get knocked out. They need to get 3 heads here. The triple acceleration energy on the bench seems like a mistake. I would have definitely just gone in the active at this point. Flip the 3 coins. Oh, and they're going for the retreat. Crazy. I was certainly not expecting that. I mean, that's fine. We're going to lose the Eldegoss and the boss, but at least at this point, I'm able to retreat and attack with Zam and discard one of their energies. So hopefully they're not able to get the knockout here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 80. Are they going to reflip? 1. Okay, we are not knocked out. That feels so good. Okay, and we're just going to take the dub because they know exactly what's going to happen with Zamazenta. And there you have it. That's really the power of the Turbo Zacian deck. Don't necessarily count yourself out of dubs because the deck can also stumble into the Zamazenta plays. You could do the Zacian and knockouts. It's a lot of stuff going on in this deck, but it is fairly consistent. I mean, we saw in the last game how it can get a little bit weird, but I was able to pull out strong. Rethinking my game plan, I think I made an initial mistake, probably based off just like not thinking about the matchup at stake, but that's okay. That's going to happen when you're focused on creating the best content and not necessarily focused on the minute as a player in the game. So hopefully you enjoyed this deck. Let me know if there's any changes that you'd want to see made to this deck, any suggestions, maybe even playing the deck on the ladder or at any of the online events like the Chill TCG events on Wednesdays. I don't know. Let me know. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. List is in the description, like I said. Code Aegislash5 at PTCGO so pick up some great codes from them. They definitely help support this channel. And that being said, I gotta run some errands. Stay safe, everyone. Wear a mask and have a wonderful day. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, it'd mean the world to me if you could subscribe to help support me as a content creator. Thanks again, and have yourself a great one.